Hi everyone, welcome to D&E's Edu Corner and welcome to our tutorial about solving problems involving quadratic equations and rational algebraic equations, Part 1. In this tutorial, we are going to solve for the following problems. Let's have our first word problem. The product of two consecutive odd integers is 143. Find the integers. Let's say ang first odd integer natin ay 3. Tignan lang natin kung paano natin i-represent yung two consecutive odd integers. For example, ang first odd integer natin ay 3 at i-represent natin ang 3 by the variable n. Ngayon, ano yung kasunod na odd integer ng 3? Answer is 5. So, i-represent natin ang 5 ng n plus 2 para sa second odd integer. Bakit n plus 2? Dahil yung n natin kanina, which is 3, nadagdagan ng 2 para sa susunod na odd integer, which is 5. Next naman, ang third odd integer natin is 7. Yung n plus 2 kanina na second integer ay nadagdagan ng 2 kaya magkakaroon tayo ng n plus 4. So, i-represent natin ang third odd integer by n plus 4. But in this given problem, 2 consecutive odd integers lamang ang ating kailangan. Let's have even integers. Tingnan lang natin kung paano natin din i-represent. Kung ang first even integer natin ay 4, which is represented by a variable n, ano ba yung kasunod na even integer? Answer is 6. And ilan yung nadagdag kay 4 para dun sa susunod na even integer? Nadagdagan ng 2. So, kagaya nung sa odd integer, we're going to add 2 dito sa n natin para sa second even integer. And ganun din sa ating third even integer, we have n plus 4. So, ganun mag-represent ng consecutive even or odd integers. Now, let n be the first odd integer and n plus 2 is our second odd integer. Ang hinihingi sa problem natin is to find the two consecutive odd integers na may product na 143. I-represent natin yan using an equation. Ang first odd integer natin ay n at ang second odd integer ay n plus 2. Ano yung ating operation? It must be multiplication because we're talking about the product. Magiging n times the quantity n plus 2. Ibig sabihin, yung first odd integer multiplied to the second odd integer. That is equal to, ano daw yung product natin? 143. So, eto na yung ating magiging equation. We have n times quantity n plus 2 is equal to 143. Let's simplify the left side of the equation. I-distribute natin si n dito sa nasa loob ng ating parenthesis, which is n plus 2. So, n times n is equal to n squared. And n times 2, we have 2n is equal to 143. Now, gawin nating 0 yung nasa kabilang side ng equation. Mag-add tayo both sides ng negative 143. So, this will become 0 kasi 143 minus 143, that is 0. Magkakaroon na tayo ng equation na n squared plus 2n minus 143 is equal to 0. This is now in standard form of our quadratic equation. Let's solve this using the quadratic formula. Okay, since ang hinahanap natin ay variable n, so n ang ilalagay natin dito. N is equal to negative b positive negative square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Hanapin natin ang values ng a, b, and c sa ating standard form of quadratic equation. Ang a dito ay 1, ang b ay 2, at ang c ay negative 143. Let's use substitution. I-substitute natin ang coefficients a, b, and c sa ating quadratic formula. N is equal to the negative sign of b, kopyahin lang natin, at ano yung b natin? Ang b natin ay 2. Positive negative square root of b squared, so magiging 2 squared, minus 4a, ang a natin ay 1, times c, which is negative 143. All over 2a, ang a natin ay 1. Kopyahin lang natin ulit yung negative 2 sa labas. Positive negative square root of 2 squared, that is 4. And then 4 times 1 times negative 143, that's negative 572, times the negative sign here or the minus sign here, magkakaroon tayo ng positive 572. All over 2 times 1, we have 2. Simplify natin yung nasa loob ng ating square root sign. This will become negative 2, positive negative square root of 576 all over 2. Now let's get the square root of 576. The square root of 576 is 24. Kuhanin muna natin yung positive 24 dito sa ating given equation para ma-solve natin yung unang value ng n. So magiging n is equal to negative 2 plus 24 all over 2. Negative 2 plus 24, that is 22 divided by 2. Our first value of n is 11. Now let's get the negative 24 here para ma-solve natin yung pangalawang value ng n. N is equal to negative 24 minus 24 all over 2. Combine natin ito, negative 2 and negative 24. We have negative 26 divided by 2. Answer is negative 13. We now have two values of n, 11 and negative 13. Dito sa unang value ng n, i-check natin kung ito ay odd integer. Ang 11 ay isang odd integer. Ano ang kasunod na odd integer ng 11? Answer is 13. Because our second integer is represented by n plus 2, so that's 11 plus 2, that is equal to 13. How about here sa pangalawang value ng n? Valid din ba ang negative 13? Yes, because we are looking for the integers. Ibig sabihin, it can be positive, it can be negative. So, ano yung kasunod na integer ng negative 13? Kung ang second integer natin ay n plus 2, so we have negative 13 plus 2, ang next integer to negative 13 ay negative 11. So we have negative 13 and negative 11. Therefore, sa ating problem, we have two pairs of consecutive odd integers. We have 11 and 13, and we also have negative 13 and negative 11. Let's proceed to our second word problem. The difference of a number and its reciprocal is 35 over 6. Find the number. Dito sa problem na ito, ang pinag-uusapan natin ay ang isang number at ang kanyang reciprocal. Now, let x be the number at ang reciprocal naman ng x ay 1 over x. Gumawa tayo ng equation para sa word problem na ito. Ang magiging equation natin ay x minus 1 over x is equal to 35 over 6. So, that's number at ang kanyang reciprocal. At ang difference nila ay 35 over 6. I-solve natin ang problem by transforming this rational equation into quadratic equation. Hanapin muna natin ang LCD ng ating given rational equation. Ang LCD ng ating equation ay 6 and x. So we have 6x. Let's multiply 6x to both sides of our equation. I-multiply natin na ang LCD na 6x dito sa mga nasa loob ng ating parentheses. So magkakaroon tayo ng ganitong equation. 6x times x, tapos 6x times yung numerator na 1. So magkakaroon tayo ng negative 6x over x is equal to 35 times 6x all over 6. Hindi muna natin i-multiply ang ating mga nasa numerator. So dito sa ating second term, ma-eliminate na natin yung x natin sa numerator and x sa denominator. While dito naman sa ating kabilang side ng equation, pwede na nating eliminate yung 6 sa numerator and denominator. Now, let's simplify. 6x times x, that is 6x squared, minus yung 6 na natira dito sa ating second term is equal to 35 times x, we have 35x. Nagawin natin 0, itong nasa kabilang side ng ating equation. Let's add negative 35 to both sides of our equation. 35x minus 35x, this will be 0. Ayusin natin ito, unahin natin ang quadratic term, followed by our linear term, which is negative 35x, and then negative 6 is equal to 0. We're going to solve for this quadratic equation using quadratic formula. This is the continuation. So from this equation na ginawa natin para sa ating word problem, na i-convert na natin into quadratic equation. And again, isosolve natin yan gamit ang ating quadratic formula. Identify the values of A, B, and C. Ang A natin ay 6, ang B natin ay negative 35, at ang C natin ay negative 6. Substitute natin yan dito sa ating mga coefficients na A, B, and C. So from here, negative B, magkakaroon tayo ng negative, tapos times negative 35 because B is negative 35. Positive negative square root of B squared, which is negative 35. Negative 35 squared. Minus 4A, ang A natin ay 6. And C, ang C natin ay negative 6. All over 2A, ang A natin ay 6. So we have 2 times 6. Simplify natin. So x is equal to negative times negative, we have positive 35. Positive negative square root of negative 35 squared, that is 1,225. And then 4 times 6 times negative 6, we have negative 144. Times the negative sign here, magkakaroon tayo ng positive 144. 1,225 plus 144, that is 1,369. Okay? Now let's get the square root of 1,369. The square root of 1,369 is 37. X is equal to 35, positive negative 37 all over 12. Kunin muna natin yung positive 37 to solve for the first value of x. So x is equal to 35 plus 37 all over 12. 35 plus 37, that is 72, divided by 12, answer is 6. So the first value of x is 6. Now, let's proceed to negative 37. X is equal to 35 minus 37 all over 12. 35 minus 37, that's negative 2, divided by 12, that is equal to negative 1 over 6. So, x is equal to negative 1 over 6. I-check natin kung ang hinahanap natin na number ay 6 or negative 1 over 6. Gamit yung ating equation na nagawa kanina, ipalit muna natin yung 6 dito sa ating mga variable na x. So that will become 6 minus 1 over 6 is equal to 35 over 6. Kung makikita natin dito, ang ating number ay 6 at ang kanyang reciprocal ay 1 over 6. Simplify natin. Kunin muna natin ang denominator. Ang denominator ng 6 dito ay 1. So 1 times 6, that's 6. And then multiply natin yung numerator sa pangalawang denominator. 6 times 6, we have 36. And then negative 1 times the denominator of 6 na 1, we have negative 1. 36 minus 1, that's 35 over 6. So sakto ang ating nakuhang sagot. Ibig sabihin, isa ang 6 doon sa ating number na hinahanap, doon sa ating word problem. Now let's check yung isa pa nating value na nakuha, na negative 1 over 6. Okay, ipalit natin yan sa ating original equation. So, yung x dito, magiging negative 1 over 6 minus quantity 1 divided by negative 1/6 is equal to 35 over 6. Ngayon, ang reciprocal ng negative 1 over 6, kapag inayos natin ito, okay, tignan natin mabuti, magiging 1, imbes na 1 divided by negative 1 over 6, it will be 1 times negative 6 over 1. So kapag sinimplify natin, 1 times negative 6, that's negative 6 divided by 1. Answer is negative 6. So ang reciprocal ng negative 1 over 6 ay negative 6. Okay? So kung subtract natin yan, negative 1 over 6 minus negative 6, it should be equal to 35 over 6. Okay, subtract natin. So this will be positive. I-multiply natin yung minus sign and negative sign dito. Magkakaroon tayo ng negative 1 over 6 plus 6. Okay, and then i-add na natin yan. Kunin natin ang ating denominator. Ang denominator ng 6 ay 1. So 6 times 1, we have 6. And then, negative 1 here times yung denominator na 1. So negative 1. And then 6 times 6, we have 36. Negative 1 plus 36, answer is 35 over 6. So, sakto din siya, equal din siya. Ibig sabihin, ang negative 1 over 6 ay isa rin doon sa number na hinahanap natin sa ating word problem. Ang ating solutions ay 6 or negative 1 over 6. Okay, so for our problem, we have two solutions, 6 or negative 1 over 6. Let's proceed to our third problem. The sum of two numbers is 21 and their product is 104. What are the numbers? Sa problem na ito, let x and y be the numbers. So ang una nating i-represent is itong statement na ito. The sum of two numbers is 21. Ibig sabihin, kung ang numbers natin ay x and y, we have x plus y is equal to 21. Ang next naman nating i-represent ay ang statement na their product is 104. Their product, ibig sabihin, ang ating operation ay multiplication. So, x times y is equal to 104. Now, ang goal natin dito is hanapin kung ano yung mga numbers na kapag pinag-add natin, ang sagot ay 21, pero kapag pinag-multiply, ang sagot ay 104. Ang una natin gagawin is, isolve natin itong equation na ito. Let's solve for y in terms of x. Okay, so ibig sabihin nan, kailangan y lamang yung matira sa side na ito ng ating equation. So, add tayo both sides ng negative x. So, kapag nag-add tayo both sides ng negative x, x minus x, y na lamang ang maiiwan dito sa side na to. And magkakaroon tayo ng ganitong expression sa kabilang side. Y is equal to negative x plus 21. Or pwede din namang 21 minus x. So, nasolve na natin yung y in terms of x. Yung nakuha nating y, expression na negative x plus 21, ay ipapalit natin dito sa y na nasa pangalawang equation. Gawin natin yan. Kopyahin lang natin yung x. And then, imbis na y, papalitan natin ng negative x plus 21. Kasi nga, y is equal to negative x plus 21. Okay, so yung y, papalitan natin ng negative x plus 21 is equal to 104. Distribute natin yung x dito sa nasa loob. So, magiging x times negative x, we have negative x squared, and x times 21, we have 21x, is equal to 104. Gawin natin 0, itong nasa kabilang side ng equation. Mag-add tayo both sides ng negative 104. This will become 0, 104 minus 104, and sa kabilang side naman, magkakaroon tayo ng negative x squared plus 21x minus 104. Sa pagsasolve ng quadratic equation, okay, lalo na kung ang gagamitin natin ay factoring, mas madali kung ang quadratic term natin ay positive. Mag-multiply tayo both sides ng negative 1 para maging positive yung ating quadratic term. So, negative 1 times negative x squared, that's positive x squared. Negative 1 times positive 21x, that's negative 21x. And negative 1 times negative 104, that's positive 104, is equal to 0 times negative 1, that is 0. Okay, positive na ang ating quadratic term. Maaari na nating isolve ang ating quadratic equation na nasa standard form na by factoring. Okay, i-ready na natin yung paglalagyan natin ng ating factors. Mag-isip tayo ng numbers or factors ng 104 na kapag pinag-add natin, ang sagot ay negative 21. What are those numbers? Answer is negative 8 and negative 13. Negative 8 times negative 13, answer is 104. Negative 8 plus negative 13, answer is negative 21. Ilagay na natin sa ating mga factors yung nakuha nating numbers. We have x minus 8 and x minus 13. Let's use the zero product property. Unahin natin yung x minus 8. X minus 8 is equal to 0. Kailangan x lamang maiwan dito sa left side. Mag-add tayo both sides ng 8. X na lamang may iwan sa left side ng ating equation. And 0 plus 8, we have 8. The first value of x is 8. Let's proceed to x minus 13. Mag-add tayo both sides ng positive 13 para x lamang maiwan sa left side ng ating equation. Okay, so this will become 0. X na lamang ang may iwan sa side na to ng ating equation and 0 plus 13, that is 13. The second value of x is 13. Now, i-check natin yung ating mga nakuhang numbers. Kung ang x natin ay 8, ipalit lang natin dito sa ating variable na x para makuha natin yung y. So, that's negative 8 plus 21. Ang magiging y natin ay 13. Okay, so 8 plus 13, that is 21, and 8 times 13, that is 104. Kung ang x naman natin ay 13, ipalit natin dito sa equation ng y is equal to negative x plus 21. Okay, so we have negative 13 plus 21, ang y natin ay 8. Okay, so 13 plus 8, we have 21, and then 13 times 8, we have 104. Therefore, the numbers are 8 and 13. Yun yung dalawang numbers na hinahanap natin na kapag pinag-add, answer is 21, pero kapag pinag-multiply, answer is 104. That's it for our tutorial regarding solving problems involving quadratic equations and rational algebraic equations, Part 1. Thank you so much for watching. We hope that you subscribe for more tutorials.